That is so important for us to know what is the exact meaning of the external environment. Basically, when we talk about the external environment, we're talking about everything outside the company that can affect how the company runs. So, imagine a company is like a person living in a big world. Inside the company, yeah, they can control things like employees, machine, and strategies. But outside the company, ada hal-hal seperti kondisi ekonomi, aturan pemerintah, teknologi baru, dan perubahan budaya masyarakat. And all of this can affect how the company, whether they like it or not. That is why companies must always monitor, analyze, and adapt to these external forces because they can turn into opportunities if the company is smart or become threats if the company ignores them. Now, let's move to the components. Secara umum, the external environment dibagi menjadi tiga: general environment, industrial environment, and task environment. But here, I'll focus on the general environment yang biasanya dianalisis pakai PESTEL analysis. PESTEL stand for political, economic, socio-cultural, technological, environmental, and legal. The first one is political. Political is like rules, government policies, taxes, and regulation, while the economic is like inflation, interest rate, unemployment, and economic growth. And the next one is socio-cultural. It's like lifestyle trend, cultural shift, and demographic. Next is technological. Technological is like innovation, automation, AI, and digital transformation. And environmental, it's like climate change, sustainability, and eco-friendly demands. Last but not least, is legal. It's like labor laws, intellectual property, and consumer protection. These factors shape the overall business atmosphere. Even though the company cannot stop them, they must be aware of them supaya perusahaan bisa survive and stay competitive in a dynamic world. Now we move to the industry environment, which is analyzed using Porges 5 forces model. The first force is threat of new entrants or ancaman pendatang baru. If barriers to entry are low, competition will increase. The second force is bargaining power of suppliers. Semakin sedikitnya pemasok yang tersedia, maka semakin besar kekuatan posisi tawar pemasok terhadap kualitas barang dan juga harga. The third force is bargaining power of buyers. Ketika pembeli memiliki banyak pilihan, high price sensitivity, dan mudah memilih produk lain, buyer powers become higher. The fourth force is threat of substitutes. The availability of many substitutes products will increase the pressure on the company. The last force is industry rivalry, yaitu tingkat persaingan antara perusahaan dalam industri yang sama.
Okay, here I will explain about the factors that have a direct relationship with the company. Yang pertama ada suppliers. Suppliers menyediakan bahan baku, komponen, atau jasa yang diperlukan oleh perusahaan. Yang kedua ada customers. Customer adalah pihak yang membeli produk atau jasa kepada perusahaan. Yang ketiga ada competitors atau pesaing. Perusahaan lain menawarkan produk atau jasa yang sejenis. Yang keempat ada distributor. Distributor like agent, retailers, and wholesalers menyalurkan produk ke konsumen. Dan yang kelima ada human resources atau tenaga kerja. Tenaga kerja menyediakan skills dan kompetensi yang diperlukan oleh perusahaan. And the last one is regulators. Regulators terkait rules, policies, and permits yang harus dipatuhi oleh perusahaan. Environmental issues memberikan impact yang besar kepada perusahaan manufaktur seperti Unilever. Plastic waste use membuat Unilever adjust its strategy dalam mengembangkan recyclable packaging dan mengurangi single-use plastic.
Kesimpulannya, external environment adalah faktor yang berasal dari luar perusahaan yang tidak bisa dikendalikan, but they strongly influence business decision. In short, understanding the external environment help companies create better strategy and survive in fast-changing world.
That's all from us. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.